I love baseball. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am Canadian, so I love hockey. But baseball for me is a truly romantic sport. Not only did I grow up playing hardball and softball, but I grew up watching my dad play. And as a kid, I was the regular bat boy on the team. That was until I was old enough to play on the same baseball team as my father. My father was and still is a big home run hitter. I mean, he would just slaughter the ball. And that was partly because all he was ever interested in was hitting a home run. So my dad would rarely wait for his pitch. He would hit it no matter where it was thrown. I feel as though my father perfected the tomahawk swing, for those who know what that is. Now, that being said, as I began to come into my own as a hitter, I could not help but inherit some of this hyper home run handicap. I mean, still to this day, not just as a kid, I always want to hit a home run and feel as though I have missed an opportunity if the ball does not actually get up over the fence. Now, while this is admittedly a mental handicap, when your primary concern is hitting, and especially hitting a home run, then you can't help but become obsessively analytical of your swing. Where you plant your feet, how far apart your legs are, the turn of your hips, the alignment of your shoulders and your arms with the bat, and of course the trajectory of your swing in relationship to the plate. But here's the thing. No matter how much I think about it, no matter how much I want to hit the ball over the fence each and every time, the fact of the matter is I only ever seem to hit a home run when I'm not thinking about it. The only times hitting a home run seems effortless, the only times when I hear just the right ping off the bat, is whenever I stop trying, when I'm present in the movement and not in the method, and just let it happen. And so it is with God. The spiritual disciplines are essential to a life renewed, remade, or reborn in the image of Christ. But the disciplines, the means and methods by which we focus on God and give ourselves over to Him do not perform the work. In the end, the work is effortless because it is done by another. It is done by Jesus Christ and the inworking of the Holy Spirit. In the celebration of discipline, Richard Foster writes, "The disciplines allow us to place ourselves before God so that He can transform us. A farmer is helpless to grow grain. All he can do is provide the right conditions for the growing of grain." Whether I am practicing the discipline of silence and solitude, as I do several times a week, settling myself into a state of musical or prayerful meditation, fasting as I do every other Wednesday with my accountability partner, or attempting to practice Lectio Divina, which I rarely, if ever, do. No matter the means or methods, what matters in the end is that I am present in the movement of the Spirit and not in the method. What happens is that I am with Jesus and allowing Him to do the work. As Dallas Willard once said, a disciple is someone who is with Christ and is in the process of taking on His character. If the desire of my heart is to be like my Father, then I must consider the means and methods by which He invites us deeper into His presence, so that I might know that He is alive and active within me, within the fellowship of His people, and within the game of life itself, on either side of the fence, no matter where the ball lands.